Yes, sister, most welcome.
Assal-mo-alaikum, brother.
Wa-alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Brother, I want to know what are the different types of divorces in Islam.
Selection is there, marriage is there, and divorce has come. We haven't discussed about how the things are, immediate divorce. As far as divorce is concerned, broadly you can categorize the divorces into five types. One is with the mutual consent of both husband and wife. The second is unilaterally with the will of the husband. The third is that if it is mentioned in the nikah-nama, in the marital contract, that even the wife can give divorce, then she too can give unilateral divorce. That is called as talaq-e-tawfid or isma. But it should be mentioned in the nikah-nama. The fourth is that if it's not mentioned in the nikah-nama, and if the wife wants to part away from the husband, it may be a personal reason, it may be valid reason, it may be invalid reason. It may be just because she does not like him. She can request the husband to give khula to her. Request him to divorce her. It's called as khula. And the last is the fifth type. That if the husband doesn't agree to give khula, and if the husband ill-treats her or does not give her her rights, she has a right to go to the qazi and do nikah-e-fasq. Nikah-e-fasq means nullification of the marriage. So these are broadly the five types of divorces that are there, and some people club two types and make it into four types, etc. But broadly these are the types of divorces that can take place in Islam. Hope that answers the question, sister. Yes, sister.
Assal-mo-alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa-alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My question is how to conduct a relation after engagement for a boy and a girl.
Sorry, how to conduct a?
Relationship between that two person who is engaged, boy and a girl. After engagement, how to conduct that relationship.
How should they behave is the right word.
Exactly.
Relationship. Someone is after engagement, that is after nikah.
Yes.
Sister asked the question that once, I understood the question, that how should a girl and boy behave after the engagement has taken place and the nikah hasn't taken place. A relationship normally has many meanings. So how should she behave? What is the level of modesty, etc. See, in Islam, there is nothing like engagement. I am going to be engaged tomorrow. I'm going to be engaged? That means engaged to be engaged. Once you have an interview, husband, wife, and the parents or whatever, whoever the elders agree, so finish. That's the engagement. That's already done. Okay, now we'll have the engagement, after 1 week. So it's not the engagement, it is engaged to be engaged. These are all the other cultures that are there. So once you decide that you're going to get married, it is finished, already engaged. So the right thing is that once you decide you're going to marry, fine, you can decide the date after a few weeks, after a few months, or whatever, it is no problem. But to say that, okay, we'll have the engagement, and then maybe you change the ring, or do something, or do haldi and do mehendi or whatever it is. All these are cultures. But there's no problem following any culture as long as it doesn't go against the Islamic Sharia. If it's not against Quran Hadith, I'm not telling keeping engagement is haram. I'm not saying that. So if it's part of the culture, there's no Quranic verse saying that don't keep engagement, no Hadith saying don't keep engagement. So you can keep engagement, but it is not part of the Sunnah, it's mubah. So you want to do mehendi, you want to do haldi, no problem. But see to it doesn't go into extravagance, it doesn't break any of the rules of the Sharia. Now coming to a basic question, that after the girl is engaged, after they decided to get married, maybe after a few months, how should she behave with each other? Your behavior with the would-be husband or would-be wife is not the same as husband and wife. Please note that. That is the Western culture. Once you are engaged means no problem. You can do everything. Even before engagement you can do everything, after engagement everything, and after marriage also everything. So that is Western culture. So here it is that your hijab should be maintained. As far as the part of the Quranic verse that lower your gaze, looking at a woman, Surah Nur chapter 24 verse 30 as I mentioned, and Surah Nur chapter 24 verse number 31, telling the men and the women to lower their gaze, should not stare. That can be relaxed, but relaxed means, fine, because engagement is there. So that can be relaxed a little bit. Relaxed doesn't mean that complete freedom, but yet the hijab should be maintained. You cannot say that if you are going to be engaged, and the girl cannot say, I need not wear my hijab. I can come without my scarf. Hijab should be maintained. Same as with a namheram. He is yet your namheram. Fine. If during the first interview, if the husband insists that you can relax a little bit of hijab because I want to have a better look at you, so certain hijab can be relaxed. Certain, not to a great extent. Some of the scholars say it can be, some of the scholars say it can't be. But if says, okay, fine, if the thing has gone to a greater level, okay, fine, I want to have a proper look at my would-be wife. But natural, maybe without the scarf. Certain scholars do permit, certain scholars don't permit. Difference of opinion is there. But that also doesn't mean that complete hijab should be removed. Fine, you can maybe remove the scarf. But that also not always. Otherwise, the hijab should be maintained as a nahmehram. What thing can be little bit relaxed is, in terms of look, that also to a little extent. Secondly, that if you have to meet anytime you have to meet for discussion, see to it that the mahram is there. Either the bride's brother is there, or the father, or the uncle, or the would-be bridegroom's sister is there, mother is there, auntie is there. Talk. You can't say that now we are engaged, let us go to movie together. That also is the last seat, No last seat, no first seat, no middle seat. You can't go out together in a garden, no, not at all. You cannot go alone out at all. Because yet, both of you are nahmehram. You can't go out, you can have a meeting in the house. Once you have decided to be married, you can have a meeting once, have twice, thrice, no problem. But don't unnecessarily keep on meeting. No, now we make it a point once a week we'll meet. For what? No, now we are going to get married after 6 months. So once a week, every Jummah. Every Thursday we'll meet. This doesn't make sense. Might as well, you do nikah, don't consummate the marriage, and meet every day, no problem. If you feel you're delaying the nikah because I don't have a house, maybe I'm not prepared to shift, so no problem, do the nikah, simple nikah. And yet, the girl can stay with the parents, and the boy can stay with the parent. Then you meet every day, no problem. Then all the hijab also can be relaxed. If you want to meet every time, you can meet. There's no fixed rule that after you have decided you can meet once, twice, or 5 or 10 times. Whenever required, if you think, okay, I just want to ask one more question, that I would like to know that what education I will do, what he will do. You want to meet, you can meet, but see to it that there is a mahram when you talk. Not that, okay, at least we won't meet, but every day we'll talk on the phone, half an hour. So all these things that the beloved Prophet ﷺ said, that if two nahmehram are in a room, the third person is the devil. So even if you are engaged, you being alone with your would-be husband or wife is totally haram in Islam. You cannot. See to mahram is there. If you want to speak on the phone once in a while, fine, you can. You can speak. But don't make it a habit regularly. At least once a week I should speak, or once in 3 days, or once a month. If you have a query, you can. But see to it that the talk is more the Islamic lines, rather than too much of laughing, joking, higgling, hanging. That's part of the hijab. So the normal hijab that is maintained for a nahmehram should be maintained even with the person you have engaged. But you can meet the person more with a mahram, which you can do with other people also. Requirement is there. Suppose you have to go to meet a doctor. You can go every day also, no problem. Fine, but because the need is there. So if a need arises, we have to meet and discuss certain issues of marriage or post-marriage, anything, you can meet, see to it the mahram is there, but don't relax it so much. The maintenance of the hijab and the modesty is very important. Hope that answers the question.